Welcome to the Unraveling the Scriptures channel. Both Europe and Asia hold great mysteries, filled with myths and legends about their histories. However, the Bible, with its sacred pages, reveals fascinating secrets about the origins of peoples and races. Europe, being a vast and diverse continent, is home to numerous peoples. But have you ever wondered about the biblical origins of the European peoples? In this video, we will explore the origin of white-skinned peoples based on biblical scriptures and historical accounts that corroborate with the sacred texts. If you are curious about these genealogical issues, check out the origin of European peoples according to the Holy Scriptures. That said, here is another video from the channel. The origin of white people according to the Bible. Physical characteristics such as blonde, red, brown or black hair, green or dark eyes, or dark and more drawn, among others. Civilizations like the Vikings, the Spartans. We also have the Celts, the Medes, the Persians, as well as the Mongols, the Chinese, the Japanese and Koreans, among many others. Have you ever wondered what is the common factor among all these peoples who have such diverse cultures and characteristics? The answer is simple: the light complexion of their skin. As discussed in our video about the origin of black African peoples according to the Bible, it all began in the early days with Adam and Eve, the progenitors of humanity. From their descendants emerged different ethnicities that spread across the world. Noah, the father of 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, became the patriarch of all current ethnicities. Along with their wives, they were given the mission to repopulate the earth after the divine catastrophe that punished humanity for its corruption. If you're curious about what the world was like during the pre-flood period, watch our video on the topic by clicking the card in the upper corner of your screen or checking the links in the description. It's worth a look. Japheth, Noah's son, is considered the progenitor of the light-skinned peoples and the white race, both in Europe and Asia. Europe consists of various countries, including Germany, Austria, Poland, Hungary, France, Italy, Romania, and many others. But did you know that the sacred scriptures mention the origins of European peoples, and that some of them are cited by the name of their ancestral progenitors in Genesis chapter 10? The sacred scriptures, when interpreted with attention to the symbols they present, reveal the origins and regions of these peoples. Thus, we understand the origin of the European peoples, or more accurately, the various European nations. The sacred scriptures mention various European peoples, with a particular emphasis on the Greeks and Macedonians. The Macedonians, like the Greeks, are direct descendants of one of Japheth's sons. Therefore, we know who the ancestor of the European peoples is: Japheth. Javan, Japheth's son, is considered the ancestor of the Greeks. According to ancient genealogies, Jewish interpretations and other sources, there is a consensus among ancient Semitic peoples that the Europeans are descendants of Japheth, one of Noah's sons. The name Japheth carries meanings such as beautiful, pale, and also relates to the concept of expansion or multiplication. European peoples are biblically referred to as Japhetic or Japhethite peoples. However, it is not only the Bible that uses these terms to refer to European peoples. Linguistically, the family of European languages, including English, German, Russian, Ukrainian, and several others, is also called the Japhetic language family, in reference to the ancestor of the European peoples. The sacred scriptures mention the progenitors of the European peoples in Genesis chapter 10 and in the book of Chronicles, where we can find Japheth's lineage, his 7 sons and grandsons. Through the names of Japheth's sons and grandsons, we can decipher the origins of the ancient Europeans. In ancient times, the Israelites themselves referred to the European peoples as Japhethites, and specifically those from the region of Greece were known as Javanites, or simply Sons of Javan. In the book of Genesis, we find the name of each of these sons, and I will mention each of them here. Japheth's descendants were Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Tiras. The sons of Gomer were Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Togarmah, and the sons of Javan were Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim. The biblical identification of Ashkenaz as the ancestor of the Germanic peoples is an interesting observation that persists among Jews to this day. As we know, Ashkenazi Jews refer to the regions of Germany and other Germanic areas as Ashkenaz, in reference to the ancestor of the Germanic peoples, who, according to ancient Jewish views and the Bible, is Ashkenaz. He is considered the ancestral father of the Germanic peoples, including the Germans and the peoples of Scandinavia. Additionally, there is a biblical character named Riphath. According to ancient interpretations, the Irish, direct descendants of the Celts, identified Riphath as their biblical ancestor. Riphath, the son of Gomer and grandson of Japheth, is seen as the ancestral father of the Celtic peoples. The Celts likely originated in the area of present-day Austria and Germany, with evidence of their presence dating back to around 1200 BCE. During the Iron Age, their influence spread over much of Europe. The Celts migrated to the British Isles, Great Britain and Ireland, the Iberian Peninsula, especially in Galicia, and the Celtiberian region, and also parts of Gaul, present-day France. They also settled in the Alpine region and present-day Hungary. The Celtic tribes scattered across Europe are therefore considered direct descendants of Riphath. In addition to the descendants of Riphath, there are other sons of Japheth related to European peoples, European regions, or genetically associated with Europeans. For example, Madai is mentioned in the biblical text as one of Japheth's sons. The biblical identification of Madai refers to nations that settled in the region of Iran, known as Aryan or Iranian peoples, and biblically called Madaites. One such people includes the Medes and Persians. The term Medes is similar to Madai, indicating a common origin for these peoples. Madai is considered the progenitor of the Madite tribes, including the Medes, Persians, Parthians, and various other ancient Persian origin peoples, all descendants of Madai, son of Japheth. A name that stands out in Genesis 10:2 is Magog, along with Tubal and Meshech. Tubal and Meshech are considered the ancestors of the Russian and Ukrainian peoples, as well as other Slavic peoples. According to biblical tradition, Russia and Ukraine are associated with Gog and Magog because Tubal and Meshech are seen as their progenitors. This understanding is widely accepted among scholars and experts in biblical genealogies and nations. Understanding these connections is important for correctly interpreting references to these peoples in biblical apocalyptic prophecies, including in the book of Revelation, and also in the Old Testament books such as Daniel, Ezekiel, and Isaiah. Knowing the identity and names of these people's ancestors is crucial for a deeper understanding of the sacred scriptures and their predictions. Magog, Tubal, and Meshech are identified as biblical ancestors of the Slavic peoples. It is important to note that Ashkenaz is considered the ancestor of the Germanic peoples and should not be confused with the Slavic peoples. Thus, we have identified the ancestry of some genetically related European groups, all belonging to white European peoples. Another notable biblical character is Tiras, one of the sons of Japheth. Tiras is seen as the ancestor of the Italian peoples, having given rise to the Etruscans. The Etruscans, who are part of the ancestry of the ancient Romans, contributed to the genetics of the Romans. Although the Romans had Etruscan heritage, they also had ancestry from other peoples, including some descended from Javan, another son of Japheth. An interesting detail about Javan, son of Japheth, is that he not only gave rise to the Greek peoples, but also to groups parallel to the Greeks that were related to them, though not Greeks per se. The names of Japheth's sons indicate origins for certain ancient peoples with similar names, despite linguistic differences between Greek and Hebrew or Aramaic. These differences arose from the linguistic diversity caused by the confusion of languages after the Tower of Babel. This differentiation occurred due to human wickedness. Had it not happened, all humans would still speak the same language, the Adamic language, but as a result, many languages emerged. The linguistic change led to a variety of languages and dialects around the world, evolving over time. For example, modern Greek is a variant of older Greek dialects. These linguistic transformations illustrate how languages diversified and adapted throughout history. Among the sons of Javan, we find Elisha. This son of Javan is identified as the ancestor of the Hellenic peoples, known in Greek as Hellenes, Hellenes. The Hellenes, corresponding to the Greeks, form a nation and an ethnic group that has inhabited Greece since the 17th century BCE. Today they are predominantly located in the Greek peninsula, the Greek islands, and Cyprus. Elisha, son of Javan and grandson of Japheth, is thus seen as the ancestor of the original Greeks, the Hellenes. The similarity between the names is notable not only in English but also in Hebrew and Greek, where we see forms like Elisha and the similarity in the Greek language. Another son of Javan, who is also of considerable interest due to his frequent mention in the sacred scriptures, is Tarshish. Tarshish is considered the ancestor of the Tartessians, who were the earliest inhabitants of the Iberian Peninsula. Yes, the Iberian Peninsula, where Portugal and Spain are located today, had the Tartessians as its first inhabitants, and Tarshish is one of their ancestors. Although the Portuguese have other origins, including Japhethite influences and a mix with Semitic peoples, they are originally descended from the Tartessians, who in turn are identified as descendants of Tarshish, the son of Javan and grandson of Japheth. Another son of Javan is Kittim, who is often associated with the island of Cyprus. Thus, the Cypriots are considered descendants of Kittim, a son of Javan. The fourth son of Javan is Dodanim, but some theories suggest that the original name might have been Rodanim or Doranim due to similarities between the Hebrew letters R and D, which are frequently confused. The Samaritan Pentateuch uses Rodanim instead of Dodanim, peoples of Dodan. Dodanim is seen as the ancestor of the Dardanians, a Trojan people. The ancient Trojans were the inhabitants of the city of Troy, an ancient city located in the region of western Anatolia, present-day Turkey. Troy is primarily famous for its role in Greek mythology and epic literature, particularly in Homer's Iliad. Troy was situated in a strategic location connecting Europe and Asia, controlling access to the Dardanelles Strait. This position made it a crucial point for trade and politics in the region. Thus, the ancient Trojans are considered descendants of Dodanim. Although I could spend hours discussing biblical identifications and their origins, it would make the video excessively long, and many people dislike lengthy videos. In summary, European peoples are considered direct descendants of Japheth, known as Japhetic peoples. God bless you all, and see you soon.